Hey guys, I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope you're rocking and rolling. I hope you guys are crushing it in whatever you're doing today. I got another awesome workshop for you guys today talking about personal branding, right? And the importance of personal branding. And I hope it's really going to help you guys with a lot of the things that you're going to be creating, a lot of the personal brands that you're going to be creating, and the recognition that you're going to be getting, right? So I put a dope workshop together right here for you guys. You guys see my setup. There's no no glitz, no glamour, ain't no studio professional over here, but it's all education. And that's what I got for you guys. Again, we got Dean up in the back. You know how we rock, you know how we do. So enough talk, let's get into it. Hey guys, so now we're over here on my laptop, and I hope you guys enjoy this workshop that I put together. Understanding the power of you, right? Mastering your personal branding for success. So we see influencers all over the place, right? So what is an influencer? It is a personal brand, right? That person or individual has created, which is something that you're possibly trying to create. Maybe you want to become the next influencer. Maybe you want to become the next, as they say, online digital marketing guru. Not necessarily a guru, but somebody who's an expert in their field, right? Your personal brand is paramount in order for you to accomplish any of these things, right? So these are some of the feelings that we may express. I mean, may even go through, feeling invisible in the crowd, struggling to stand out and get noticed, right? Some of us feel that way, because we don't have a brand. We don't have a brand identity, but we can create that. That's something that can be fixed, right? That's a problem that's easily fixed once you understand who your brand identity is and you start to create it. So what if you could position yourself as the go-to expert in your field, right? Imagine clients coming to you instead of you chasing them. That's the power of personal branding. So in this workshop, I'll walk you through the exact steps to crafting a brand that gets you seen, trusted, and paid. As you guys know, I live next to a church, so you're gonna hear a lot of church bells going off in the back. Don't mind that. Or if you do, say a prayer while we're there. So let's dive right into this. Right, so the introduction and the pain points, right? Invisible in your industry. Sometimes we feel that way, right? There's a multitude of different people who are in that industry that are doing possibly the exact same thing that we're doing, right? How do we differentiate ourselves? How do we stand out? So your expertise means nothing if no one knows you. So you have to make sure that you are different from everybody else in the crowd. Because again, if there's going to be 101, let's say copywriters, how are you going to differentiate yourself as the expert copywriter in what field, right? And then there's missing opportunities. Without a strong personal brand, clients and opportunities go to the other ones, to the other companies, right? The other businesses. So you want to make sure, again, you want to get the maximum amount of leverage so that you're able to get the maximum amount of attention, right? Undervalued skills, right? Let me move my face over here so I'm not blocking it, right? So you have undervalued skills. You're worth more than you're charging. So when you have a personal brand, you can charge those maximum amounts. That's why you see a lot of these mentors who are charging, $100,000, $50,000. Some of them are $1 million just for you to spend maybe a couple hours with them, right? Because it's not necessarily, the amount that you're paying, thinking that, oh, why am I paying $1 million to this one person? But it's the information that you're going to be receiving because you are the expert, right? You're building your personal brand to create a perception that you are the expert. And within that perception, you are mastering your skills to become that expert, right? A powerful personal brand commands premium rates. 85% of business success come from branding and visibility, right? So the solution: build a magnetic personal brand that does the work for you, right? And how are we going to do that? Let's discuss all these points. I keep moving my screen so I hope you guys don't mind. Understanding your personal brand, right? So your personal identity, your brand exists whether you manage it or not. It's the impressions you leave and the stories that others tell about you. Right? So what's the story? Was that, oh, I had a great experience with this person. This person knows exactly, how to solve my problem. What's the experience? That's your branding, right? It's a mix of your expertise, your reputation, and how you present yourself online and offline. So keep all of that in mind. A lot of people In our day and age, especially with social media, they feel that they could post a lot of different things when they're young, but as they get older, a lot of those things come to the forefront, and it really just ruins their reputation, right? So it's really important that you maintain a good reputation online and off, right? The perception factor. Personal branding is about strategically influencing how others perceive your value. Like I mentioned before, right? It's the perception that you put out there. And I know sometimes you hear perception, and it's like it could come across as fake, but it's not fake, right? Especially when you are an expert in your field. So it's really you understanding who you are, what you do, and how you position yourself, right? Think Elon Musk, Gary Vaynerchuk, Oprah. Their brands are instantly recognizable. Let's even go, to people that we know to now, Mr. Beast, Kai Cent, Ty Lopez, the Grant Cardone. There are a lot, even Trump, regardless of how you may feel about any of these people, their personal brand speaks volumes. All you have to do is say their name, and you instantly will recall. Excuse me. This is live, so I'm gonna make some mistakes. Can't speak today. You'll instantly recall, what are some of the brands that they are affiliated with. Your brand versus your reputation. Your reputation is what you've done. Your brand is the promise of what you'll deliver constantly. Remember that. Keep that in mind. Your reputation is what you've done. Your brand is the promise of what you'll do, what you'll deliver consistently. Always keep that in mind, right? So here's a story. Imagine you're at a network event, and if people already know you, doors open instantly, right? Now you're at the event, nobody knows you. You have to work extra harder to get people to know you. Know, like, and trust you factor, right? Always keep those things in mind, right? So crafting your unique value position, so you want to start from the top down, right? Approach. So the transformation, right? What's the formula? What's your unique impact that you're going to have on these businesses, on these clients, on these people, right? So the formula is I help target audience to solve their problem, their specific problem, through your unique approach, right? An example of that is I help small business owners increase online sales through data-driven marketing strategies. I know you guys have heard this before, especially people who have been in this industry. A lot of the LinkedIns, that's what you see on their profile, because that's who they are directing their unique proposition towards, right? This is who they're trying to help. You can't help don't be a generalist, right? That's going to ruin everything, because nobody wants a generalist. People are looking for specialists. What do you specialize in? How can you help this unique problem that I have with your unique strategy, right? Your special approach, what's your methodology? What's your style? Differentiate yourself. How do you solve problems differently than your competitors? Like I mentioned earlier, how are you going to stand out in the crowd? A crowded space of maybe 1,000 other people, how are you going to be different? What's your core expertise, your skills and knowledge? Understand your audience. What do they need most? If you're having a problem with that, you have AI, right? You can always go to AI to find out exactly what your core audience needs help with the most and solve that problem. Exactly, right? Your value and purpose, what is this? What are you doing this for? Like, what's your why, right? Everybody says that. What's your why? What's your why? What's your purpose, right? Why are you doing this? What do you, it's not necessarily what are you getting out of it, but what's your mission, right? What are you trying to accomplish, right? So it's a story. Short story is, think of your UVP as unique value proposition, like a dating profile. If it's too generic, everybody's going to be swiping, but when it's clear and specific, the right people are going to be drawn to you. So think about it that way. Cool. Don't mind me keep moving my face around. Anyway, content strategies for thought leadership, right? This is how you're going to stand out in the crowd. You have to be that thought leader. Again, anybody who's been in the space for a lengthy amount of time have heard this before, right? Identify your expertise. Define exactly where your knowledge stands. If you're an expert in helping people with running ads, that's what you're an expert in. If you know how to market offline, newspaper ads, whatever the case, that's what you're an expert in, right? So know your knowledge zone. And you can always branch out later on, but when you're attracting your clients, have that unique proposition that you're pitching to them. Create consistently, right? When you're content is king, like distribution is queen. I always say that. So you want to create consistent amount of content so that people, get to know you, get to like you. You stay top of mind. You're not going to be just, creating the content one time and then thinking that the world is going to know who you are. It's not going to happen, pal. You need to stay consistent with creating this content. So develop a sustainable content calendar, right? How many times a day can you put out content? Realistically, you don't need to go overboard. Don't try to be like somebody who's already been in the space 10 years, and been creating content in a long span of time. Know your limits, right? Man should know their limits. Women should know their limits. Know what your capacity of what you can create, and create that. Engage authentically. Similar to what I'm doing right now. I'm stuttering, I'm tripping over my words sometimes, but you know what? You guys know this is real. I'm being authentic. This happens every day when you're talking to somebody, right? So be authentic, respond thoughtfully if somebody comments, be meaningful in your community. When you go to networking events, just be authentic. Don't try to make yourself this pompous person that is high and mighty, because you're going to rub a lot of people wrong. Nobody wants to be around anybody who thinks that they're just too good to be around others, right? Or this high and mighty kind of walk around head in the sky kind of nonsense, right? You want to be different than that, Measure your impact. What you don't track, you can't fix, right? So you want to measure the impact of what you're doing. You want to make sure that you're doing the correct steps, right? If it's not the correct steps, you need to come back. You need to call an audible for my football players and, reevaluate it and do something else, right? You need to reassess, track what resonates. What you don't track, you can't measure. So, ever notice how, certain experts seem to be everywhere? That's them having a content strategy. They know how to put out all this content for the people who are looking for it. So you want to be able to do that, right? That's their secret, excuse me. Right. I'll put my hair right here in the bubble. All right. Developing credibility and trust, which is extremely important, right? The know, like, and trust factor. That goes everywhere. It doesn't matter in what field you're in, what business, industry you're in. This goes hand in hand. So you want to demonstrate your expertise, right? Share valuable insights, in the field that you're in. If you're in the culinary school field, right? Don't be talking about tech and AI, right? It's going to confuse people. People don't like to be confused. Even though we all walk around confused, I can tell you that, but people don't like to feel confused when they're dealing with a business, or a client or a prospective mentor, right? Anybody of that position, they don't want to feel confused. So make it really simple, like that a sixth grader can understand. Showcase your expertise, speak at events, write guest posts, contribute, in media, be on podcasts, share your clips on IG, share your clips on TikTok, share your clips on Twitter, just share a lot of the information that you have already created or that you're creating now. And it's just going to, again, bring you top of mind to those who are looking for someone like you to solve their problem. I'm going backwards. So let's go to number 2. Show consistency, right? Again, like I mentioned earlier, you want to deliver consistency across all platforms. Consistency is congruency. You want to be congruent. Everything needs to flow, right? You don't want those ebbs and flows all over the place. It just throws people off. You don't want to be discussing a whole random array of topics. Be a specialist in what you deliver, right? Align yourself with high profile names in your niche. So if you wanted to get out in, let's say, in the digital marketing space, start looking for people in the digital marketing space that you could potentially do a podcast with, you could potentially do a guest blog with, seeing how you guys can interact with each other that's going to benefit you both, right? Provide social proof, right? So a lot of that social proof is going to come from the work that you have done in the past, right? And if you're brand new and you didn't do anything, your social proof is yourself. So do it for yourself. Whatever you plan on doing for somebody else, do that for yourself first. If you run ads for companies, run ads for your own business, right? If you're doing digital marketing, do digital marketing for yourself, right? Whatever it may be. If you're a culinary and you're a cook, do exactly what people do on TikTok and on IG. Cook for yourself, right? Get in your own kitchen, start making your recipes, start cooking it, because people are eventually going to see you and they're going to like you and they're going to trust you and they're going to want to work with you, right? So that goes to number 4, is express authenticity, right? You want to be authentic. Again, similar to what I'm doing here, be transparent, just let people know who you are, what you do, and how you plan on helping them. Trust isn't given. It really isn't. It's like loyalty. It's really not given. It's something you got to work for, right? It's earned through consistent action. Again, similar to loyalty and respect. These are some of the things you always want to keep in mind, right? Your credibility becomes the most valuable currency in your business. Always remember that. Don't F up your credibility. Don't F up your reputation, by doing some nonsense, getting drunk, or doing just things that are not in line with your business goals, right? Because it can ruin everything. It can take you 100 years to create something. I know I'm exaggerating. It can take you 10 years to create something and one day to dismantle it. Remember that. Cool. Move your big head. Anyway, right, so expanding your brand and staying relevant, right? Some of the important things you want to keep in mind as you're building this and as you're growing your personal brand and everybody's getting to know you, they're getting to like you and trust you, and you're really crushing it in your space, right? Because personal branding is everything. You want to refine your core offering, right? As you create your first unique proposition, okay, now let's refine it. Okay, all right, I'm helping XYZs to do ads. I know I've said ads a number of times, so I'm gonna just stay with it. I help XYZ businesses to do ads, to grow their business, whatever. Keep refining that, right? You may even add other ad platforms to that, right? You want to pull in other things because you want to continue to grow as well. So this way you'll be able to offer more to your clients, right? It just won't be just one small core offering, right? Quality trumps quality trumps quantity every time, right? Keep that in mind. You want to have enough quality information that you're putting out there over just random amounts of just nonsense, just to say, okay, I'm gonna put out a lot of different things and this is going to help. No, usually it kind of hurts, right? You want to, again, going back to strategic partnership, align yourself with those who are already in the space that you want to be in. I know it seems counterintuitive because you're trying to stay away from them. You want to do your own thing, but they also have the clients. They have the clients already in line with answering some of the questions that you may be solving a problem too, right? And in the way that you position yourself with your unique way of doing it, because we are all unique. None of us do anything the same way. Thank God for that, right? You'll be able to attract an audience specifically for you and your business, right? So keep that in mind. Don't worry about what they say. Don't worry about I lost my train of thought, but don't worry about competition. There we go. Competition is a good thing. Competition being out there is going to be able to show you that there is a viable space that is looking for the solutions that you're ready to provide, right? Number 3, expand on your platforms, right? Diversify your presence. Be all over the place if you can. Again, you don't want just quantity of everything all over the place, but you can expand on the quality that you've created, right? So jump on X, jump on YouTube, jump on Twitter, jump on TikTok, jump on, I said Twitter and X, right? Jump on IG, jump on LinkedIn, have all these platforms all in line with your content strategy so that you can stay top of mind when people are ready to maybe do business with you, or maybe in a position where they need your business right now, right? They need that problem solved right now. So you want to be able to provide that solution, right? So scale your systems. Build processes that let your brand operate on beyond just your personal bandwidth, right? Personal bandwidth could just be your personal circumference of the people that you're dealing with. right? You want to really have that outreach going, so, write books, write online courses. Create online courses, monetize your influence through consulting and speaking gigs, like a lot of these other people do. Same way Grant Cardone had came up, Gary Vaynerchuk, they all do the same. Ty Lopez, they all kind of do the same process, right? But it took them a while to get there. They didn't get there overnight, but they built their presence, they built their personal brand, and then now they're able to, monetize through, other means. You can do the same thing. Build a team that amplifies your efforts, right? You may be so caught in the mix of the business that you're not focusing on other aspects, right? So maybe you need to hire somebody for that. Maybe that's not your forte. Maybe your forte is just doing ads, right? I know how to do ads. I know how to read the metrics, and that's what I know how to do. So maybe find somebody who's really good with, doing social media. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. It could be you just having to hire somebody overseas, outsourcing it, right? Let them run that while you're able to just focus on what you have already mastered. Here's a story like Blockbuster ignored the digital trend, right? They were so big on thinking that everybody's going to run to the store to get a CD that they ignored Netflix, and Netflix came and ate their lunch. And Netflix is still going. And I promise you, there's going to be something else that's going to come and eat Netflix lunch. That's how it works. There's always going to be innovation. You always want to innovate. That's where it came to when in this workshop I said to refine. You always want to refine. You always want to innovate. You always want to iterate, and change different things. Brands that fail to evolve become irrelevant. There's a quote that says, he who is afraid of change is the architect of decay. Right? So you need to be able to adapt. If anybody ever took Ty Lopez's 67 steps, there's one in there about the Bluefoot booby bird or something like that, and it was able to adapt. That's why it survived. Adaptability is very important. So keep that in mind. Awesome. So some action steps, right, that you can take today. That you literally pull your book out, start doing that today, right? Number one, you want to implement daily brand habits. What are some of the things you want to do for your brand to get yourself out there, right? That you can do right now. Literally, pull your phone out and make a recording, right? Let me come over to that. Grab your phone, make a recording. This is what I do. This is how I help. That's a short right there. That's a video right there, right? Number two, create your 90-day content plan, right? What's your plan for the next 90 days? 90, 120, like you have to, sometimes it takes time for things to kind of, start to develop. Similar to if you plant a seed, it takes time for you to start to see the results of that seed. Similar to your content strategy, your content being put out there, similar to your brand growing, right? It takes time. So make sure you implement that, right? Build your brand platform. What are some of the platforms that you feel are best suited for your brand? I know I named a number of them, but you don't necessarily have to be on all of them. Be on the platforms where your audience is. That's most important. If your audience is on LinkedIn, you should damn well be on LinkedIn. If your audience is on Twitter, what you think? You should damn well be on Twitter, right? If your audience is not on TikTok, what are you doing on TikTok? Like, you're just wasting time. Honestly, it's just there for fame, right? You're looking for fame votes and shit. Like, that's not going to solve anything. You want to solve problems. You want to be doing things that's going to move the needle, right? So define your brand strategy, right? What is that brand strategy? What is your unique value proposition? That's really, I think that should have been first. It came out last, whatever, as I'm putting this together. But really, like, who are you trying to help, right? The whole position of a personal brand or branding is, who are you helping with this brand, right? What problems are you solving? Always keep that in mind. Your personal brand is your most valuable asset. It really is. Like I said, you can grow it in 10 years and destroy it in one day, right? It works for you when you're not working, right? So you could be sleeping and people are watching your brand, and they're getting to know, like, and trust you from watching your videos, from listening to your podcast, from seeing your interviews, from reading your blog posts on Medium. Like, there are a lot of different ways that people are engaged with other brands, and they start to develop a relationship, right? So start building your legacy today. Like, why waste time, right? If you're not already building your legacy, and if you are already building your legacy, think about maybe expanding that. Think about maybe iterating a little bit and to grow that. Think about new ways that you can potentially get more customers, right? That you can help more customers. We can always change, we can always grow, right? You don't want to stay stagnant, right? Did that already. All right, cool, man. Yeah, so coming to the end of this workshop, I got some downloadable resources that I'm going to put together in a package. It's going to be in a bundle. You guys going to get an ebook to a lot of things that we discussed right here. So, you can go through it at your leisure. You're also going to get a workbook, you'll be able to use, a guide that you'll be able to have so that you'll know exactly some of the steps that you need to take. I'm also going to provide an AI prompt pack. So, like I mentioned earlier, if a lot of things that you may not have an idea of how to approach, that's what we have AI for, right? We got DeepSeek, we got ChatGPT, we got Claude, we got Copilot, we got Gemini. There's a multitude of AIs out there that's ready to help. All you need to do is take action, right? You also got the personal brand checklist, right? So this is the things that you'll be able to go through and have all of these resources. And if you want, after you get this, you could turn around and, brand it to yourself and your company and provide it to your clients, right? This is something extra for them that they can be able to utilize. And then now you can continue to grow and be able to provide more value to them, right? That's pretty much how it goes. It's all about creating more value. Providing more value so that, you become more valuable. Ha. Anyway, I hope you guys like this workshop. Again, I'm gonna keep pumping out a lot more workshops, and you guys keep rocking and rolling. Take action. All right. See you in the next one. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's presentation and workshop. It's all about personal branding, right? The power is in you. What is your brand? What are you offering? What are you presenting? Who are you helping, right? All of those things is some of the questions that you need to ask yourself before you get out there and you try to expand and help a client, right? I know you guys are going to be doing some amazing things. I really hope you love the value that I'm putting out. I plan on putting out more. As always, you guys take care. I love you. Stay strong. Keep rocking and rolling. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.